Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get ready for chase race number 4 of the 4th season of the NCAA Hersheys Cup Series. Getting ready for what's going to be the final dirt track race of the season for these Hersheys Cup Series drivers as we are here to finish off our weekend from Oswego Raceway. Last night we had a very interesting Pizza Hut X Series race where we saw Elijah Gilbert go to victory lane, locking himself a slot up in the final 4 at the season finale at Auto Club. Tonight could be the same for another driver that comes into this race as a chase competitor. A win, a trip to victory lane, automatically gets you into the final 8 of the season for these drivers. These drivers have a much longer road to go than the Pizza Hut X Series drivers do. As on the pole for tonight's race, it's Brandon Gonzales. Alongside of him, Z Flickinger, Joshua Michaels there in third. So these drivers, they have an entirely different agenda. They want to win their first race of the season. As J Baskinger will be the highest starting chaser here tonight, rolling off from the outside of row 2 in 4th. Benjamin Miles raced his way into this round of the chase with his win at Chicagoland back the first race of the first round of the chase for the championship. He'll roll off from 5th, and alongside of him, driver that comes into this race without a chase banner, that is J McCloud. He was one of the 4 drivers that was eliminated from the chase for the championship after last week's race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The other 3 drivers being Jessica Shelton, along with Emmanuel Hartnett and Garrett Sydnor. So those 4 drivers just trying to finish out the season as best they can with as many trips to victory lane as possible. So we mentioned that J Baskinger, Benjamin Miles, they are 2 of the remaining 12 drivers competing for the championship. The other ones being Anthony McCrury, J Arndt, Cody Llamas, Dylan Poteet, Trent Dunham, Charles Sandfer, M Haas, S Gallighan, J Bryant, and just barely squeaking his way in to the final 12 was Blaine Keys. They will now embark on a 3-race journey here and try and make it into the Elite 8. Then they'll battle for another 3 races to determine who will be the final 4 to battle for the championship at Auto Club. 45 laps of racing here tonight, about 15 laps more than they raced in the Pizza Hut X Series race here last night, which means that the stages themselves will also be a little bit longer, 15 laps apiece. And as stated last night in the Pizza Hut X Series race, and pretty much stated all chase long, those stage points are ever so important because they could be the difference between whether you're going home at the end of this stage or at the end of this round, the second round of the chase, or whether you are moving on with a chance to win the championship. Let's go down trackside for the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
There is the command to fire them up as we'll get ready to put them under green. Smaller field tonight because obviously we didn't have a non-charter race this weekend, so only the 35 chartered rides taking part in this evening's event. So we'll have to see if maybe with 7 less cars in the field than what we had in the Pizza Hut X Series race here last night, if we may have some more green flag racing than we did. Although I can't really complain about last night's race because I think we at the most had a total of 3 cautions, so it wasn't all that terribly bad. We'll get ready to turn them loose here though, as it's going to be Brandon Gonzales and Z Flickinger getting us underway. 45 laps of racing. Second round of the chase is green. Saw them in the Pizza Hut X Series race here. At the beginning stages, 3 wide, 4 wide, and at one point they were even 5 wide. They wrecked, but they were 5 wide. And Joshua Michaels will go to the race lead, passing Brandon Gonzales. J Srigley down in the bottom, 3 wide, sticking chaser Benjamin Miles in the middle. That's the battle for the 3rd spot, with Flickinger rim riding on the high side. Chris Dodd there as well, down in the bottom of the racetrack. Boy, Benjamin Miles is in a hornet's nest right now, boxed in, left, right, and behind. Keeping it together, though, they're at least given some room as Joshua Michaels way out in front. Boy, they're 3 wide further back there, too. That was Levi McIntyre back there in a 3 wide situation. Front, middle, rear of the field. There are 3 wide battles all over the place. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Dodd looking to the inside for second off of Joseph Srigley. Former champion. Caution's out. Pretty sure caution's out. Yes, it is. I thought I saw the red lights on for the pit road entrance, which usually indicates the yellow flag is waving. But we got to lap 4 before the caution came out. Pretty impressive with the 3 wide battles we had all the way through the field. But now comes the hardest part of these kind of races, is you have to now look and see who was involved. And the possibility of chase drivers involved is about 33.33%. 12 out of 35 drivers running chase banners here tonight. Let's see who was that brought out this yellow, and it was a chaser. It was a couple of chasers. Actually, it was 3 chasers. Blaine Keys, Cody Llamas, and up there ahead you see the 05 of J Arndt. Some other chasers back here too, Trent Dunham and M Haas. You gotta wonder if they were involved. There's 5 chasers right there towards the rear of the field, 3 of them with damage. J Arndt bringing his Zaxby Chevrolet to pit road. Blaine Keys and the U.S. Army Chevrolet, he's on the pit lane now as well. Last thing you want to do is have a bad run here at Oswego, and J Arndt is out of the race, as is Blaine Keys. Oh my goodness. What a turn this chase has taken already here in the first laps of the race at Oswego. Let's take a look at a replay of what involved these chasers in our first caution of the evening. Now let's see what happens here. Oh, it was up ahead there. Cody Llamas going to get hooked by Emmanuel Hartnett. Almost saves it as he bounced off the door of Caitlin Tsang. But it's so hard to be able to get that car back under control when you're on dirt. The car just slides, and it doesn't want to stop, and he got clobbered by Blaine Keys. Look at J Bryant just shoot the gap, and then there you see J Arndt nowhere to go in the 05. Oh, man, then he goes up and hits that concrete wall as well. M Haas and Trent Dunham just barely got by on the inside line. It was only those 3 drivers, and all 3 of them chasers, involved in this one. And of course, quite importantly, Cody Llamas, a former winner this season at a dirt track. He won at the Springfield Mile, so thought he would have a good run tonight. That's not the case. Blaine Keys and J Arndt are out of the race. That could be their championship hopes gone, depending on what they do in the next upcoming 2 weeks. But we're under caution here for the first time tonight. Let's go back for the green. Joshua Michaels out in front. We're still waiting on the pace car to indicate when we will have the 1 to green signal. Joshua Michaels showing the way. Joseph Srigley right there in second. Srigley looking for his 2nd win of the season. Chris Dodd looking for his 1st of the year and 1st in season 2. And then look who's lined up there in 4th. Johnny Gardner, 2-time winner of the season. Won the last time out at Indianapolis. Looking for his 3rd win of the year. With Benjamin Miles right now the highest running chaser in 5th. Lights are out, so we'll go back green. So let's find out where our chasers are restarting. Mentioned Miles in 5th. McCrury, the only other chaser, restarting the top 10 in 7th. Charles Sandfer in 11th. Sean Gallighan 12th. 13th, J Baskinger. Dylan Poteet 21st. J Bryant 23rd. As we're about to go back green. And then you've got Trent Dunham and M Haas 31st and 32nd, with Cody Llamas in 33rd. 2 drivers out of the race, both chase drivers, J Arndt and Blaine Keys. Green flag back out here on lap number 9. Battle on for 3rd. Johnny Gardner to the inside on Chris Dodd. And he will complete the pass as K Mathews also got around Benjamin Miles, but the caution is out again. Mathews moving to 5th, Miles back to 6th. Yellow flag waves once again, and something tells me this may be a much more caution-filled race than our event last night in the Pizza Next series. And that may spell out not good news for the chase drivers. Joshua Michaels, I don't think, cares, though, because every lap he leads under caution is one less lap he has to defend that race lead from the drivers behind him under green flag conditions. Let's see who was involved in this one. And I have no idea. It could have been anybody. May have been just a spin on the back straightaway. That would be my wager of what happened. We'll find out officially, though. Let's go back and look. Okay, I'm not rightly sure what happened here. This is a tad unusual. Cole Baker trying to hold off Trent Dunham. This is right at the rear of the field, too. This was around 33rd. Oh, Baker got hooked by Trent Dunham. And then watch this. I've never seen this happen before. Baker's car gets shot down towards that little opening there, and he can't turn it back onto the track and into the concrete wall. And that car completely demolished. That is a hard impact for Cole Baker. Tough break there for the driver out of Seth Cole Baker Motorsports. And that is what brought the caution out. So I couldn't find the caution, but it was definitely caution worthy. Hard lick into a concrete wall for Cole Baker in the 18 Ford. So that puts 3 drivers out of the race now, and we have not even reached a third of the way through this race. Cole Baker, fortunately though, released from the care center, and he is okay. That is one of the scarier hits I've seen taken here at this racetrack. There's no safer barriers at this track, and quite honestly, they probably should install them, but they haven't yet. Green flag going to come back out next time by, which means we're actually going to have a one-lap shootout to finish off our first stage, which isn't all that terribly important, at least for the top 5, because none of them are chase drivers. Michael, Srigley, Gardner, Chris Dodd, and Kyle Mathews. The only way that it really is important for them is they're trying to utilize it to stay ahead of the 30th position in the points, and guys like Srigley, Mathews, and Chris Dodd are kind of in that conversation. So here we go. Joshua Michaels has led every lap so far. He'd love to be able to win the first stage. Green flag, back out. Srigley got a good jump. He's going to peek to the inside. Got a little tight through the center of the corner and not going to be able to get to the left rear quarter panel going down the back straightaway. Wow, Johnny Gardner got loose in that corner. Way up the hill, goes to 26. Hangs onto it, though, through turns 3 and 4, and it will be the first stage won by the Honda Accord of Joshua Michaels. You go back and you talk about that battle to stay in the top 30 in the points with the charter system and everything. Drivers that finish 31st and 35th in the point standings will lose their charter next season to the top 5 in the points for the non-charter series, and that is so important. And a lot of drivers in that conversation, including Tim Walsh, Dylan Young, Johnny Gardner, Kyle Mathews, Chris Dodd, L Alvarise, Z Flickinger, Joseph Srigley. Mathews up to the 4th position. Defending champion, went to victory lane for the 2nd time this year, a couple of weeks ago at Dodge Motor Dome. Solid outing here as he's now up to the 4th position, trying to reel in the top 3 who are nose to tail. Gotta wonder which battle is going to culminate first, a battle for the lead or a battle for 2nd. I think maybe Gardner may challenge for 2nd before Srigley has a chance to battle for the top position. Meanwhile, another driver who has popped up into the top 10 for a chaser is Anthony McCrury, trying to run down Benjamin Miles for highest running chaser right now. Miles in 6th, McCrury in 7th, and then 8th place. Battle going on here. Charles Sandford trying to hold off the spot from rookie Brooke Allen. Sean Gallighan right there as well in the 44. So a couple of chasers working their way up here into the top 10. McCrury, Gallighan, and Sandford. Back a ways, there's J Baskinger. He was the highest starting chaser tonight. Rolled off from the 4th position, and now he is back. Currently scored in the 18th position. Trying to work his way back up to the front. 3-time winner this season, Dylan Poteet, back in the Hornets' nest here with Tim Walsh, JT Bryant, Garrett Sydnor. Bryant in the middle there, the 22. Matt Haas started near the rear of the field, as did Trent Dunham. They're both trying to fight their way back up here in the field, but not having a whole heck of a lot of success. Are the 78 or the 1. Hartnett right now, I believe, no, Cody Llamas is the last car on the lead lap, and we had a change for the lead while we went through the field. Joseph Srigley took the lead from Joshua Michaels, but for how long? Michaels with the crossover move, looking back to the bottom for the top position. And he might get it here off 4 if he can get back to the throttle soon enough. Will lead the lap, at least it looked like he did, and the scoring monitor agrees with me. And Michaels will get back to the top spot. He clears off of turn number 2. Now Srigley going to try the bottom once again, as the top 5 have kind of broken away from everybody else, so right now they're racing amongst themselves. But I'll tell you what, that battle for 6th place is really important because there's a lot of chasers around in that. Miles, McCrury, and Gallighan. K Batson now working his way into this group as well. We mentioned Brooke Allen and Charles Sandfer, and also Caitlin Tsang. Don't forget her. She won the main event race at the dirt track of Eldora. She knows how to get around these dirt tracks. Look at how wide they go through that corner. Miles, diamond needs the corner. It's a good exit off the turn 2 onto the back straightaway, but McCrury still driving it deep, trying to get that 6th position. Srigley back to the point. Michael's gonna try and get by again. While these two are battling each other for position, obviously both trying to find victory lane. Srigley for the 2nd time this season, Michael for the 1st time. This is allowing Johnny Gardner a little nice view of where he might want to go. And oh boy, we had a lap car interfere with last night's Pizza Hut X Series race in the closing stages, and it looks like we may end up having some traffic here in this one. That being Cody Llamas in the 48, who is currently still on the lead lap, but he's 32nd place. Not a good evening for that chase driver. Side by side for the race lead. Michaels has been really good on the bottom off turn 2. Got that good run. Now if he can drive it deep into 3, he may be able to hang on to the spot, and he will. And now Srigley not going to be able to do the crossover. Well, he might. I thought for a moment there Gardner was going to get to his left rear quarter panel. Not the case. And look at this. Whoa! Michaels riding it wide and handsome and almost dooring Cody Llamas in the process, as he will now get by the 48. Srigley almost took complete advantage of that, but Michaels somehow able to hold on to the top position, and now the top 3 are clear of the 48. Kyle Mathews now the next car to try and get by him. Field on the back straightaway. Tail end of the field on the front straightaway, so a whole full half of racetracks. I do not think that these leaders will catch the tail end of the field, but there still is that gap there from 5th place on back to 6th place. Chris Dodd in 5th, Gallen right now in 6th, trying to hold off Sean Gallighan for position. A couple other new faces have popped up here. Dylan Young in the 2, and Z Flickinger, Nathan Hudson now up here as well, all battling for spots in the top 10. Caitlin Tsang, a little contact there to the back of Benjamin Miles, nearly slid her up into Anthony McCrury. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead continues to rage on. Srigley not content to run 2nd behind Michaels. Joshua Michaels hasn't been to victory lane since season 2 when he won the season finale at Auto Club. 2 career wins for Joshua Michaels. That was his 2nd, his 1st coming at season 1 at Pocono. Back at the Remember Rue McIntyre tribute race. Look at this, Johnny Gardner's just lying in wait, and the caution is out, I think. No, it's not. Nope, I thought I saw a yellow flag on the right side of my screen, but nope, we are not under caution. And we will hit 10 laps to go. We hit the stripe this next time by Srigley back to the point. If I remember correctly, Joseph Srigley has never won a dirt track race. He's got a road course win at Lime Rock. He's got a super speedway win at Zenjoltis. I'm trying to remember where his win came this season. Not coming to me. I'll try and find it as the battle's on. Again, Joshua Michaels determined to keep that position. He is not going to give that spot up to Srigley. Michaels trying to clear here off 2. This has been one of his best corners on the bottom, and he will do so. I apologize that I cannot remember off the top of my head where Srigley's win came this season. Arizona is where it came. Oh, wait, I think we might be under caution now. Yes, we are. Yellow flag is out, and they're going to catch the tail end of the field. Slow down, guys. Whoa. Caught the tail end of the field, who all apparently had slowed up for the incident that took place, more than likely out of turn 4 onto the straightaway. They'll all get by, get back on the tail end of the lap. But That's going to give us a very interesting finish for sure, because the caution comes out with less than 10 to go, hitting the stripe now at 6 laps to go. We'll have to see how many laps are left. And that brought 6th place on back, all the way back up here, closing up that gap on the top 5. Joshua Michaels out in front. Let's see what brought out this potentially last caution of the evening. Well, there was that big pack just inside and just outside of the top 10, and they all encountered Cody Llamas in the 48, and apparently finally Keith Batson, getting fed up with getting stuck behind that slower machine, gets him right there in the left rear quarter panel. Cody Llamas off of the 2 of Dylan Young. Dylan Young, wow, that's a pretty hard hit into the concrete wall for the Chicago Bears Ford. And then Cody, whoa, look at L Alvarise, evasive maneuver to the right. Normally you snap your car to the right like that at a dirt track and you're going to go head up, nose it into the wall. But a couple of Floridians bringing out this caution, Cody Llamas and Dylan Young. Whoa, and another close call there for chaser J Bryant. He almost nailed Cody Llamas from behind, but that's what brought out the caution and sets us up for a shootout to finish out tonight's race at Oswego. So now it's basically up to the discretion of NNSCRA officials of how soon we can get back green to determine how many laps we'll have to finish this out. We will finish the race under green, but I'm not certain if it's going to be a 1-lap shootout or a green-white checkered. My money is on a green-white checkered. I think the lights should go out this time to set us up for a 2-lap dash to the finish. It's been back and forth, a seesaw tonight for the lead between Joshua Michaels and Joseph Srigley, but it seems like every time Srigley gets the top position away, Joshua Michaels gets it back on the following lap. Srigley's had to work a lot harder to get the lead from Michaels than Michaels has to get the lead from Srigley. So if Srigley can make the move here with 2 laps to go, you got to wonder if on the white flag lap, Michaels would be able to have enough time to battle back and take the top spot back for the victory. However, in these 2 laps, maybe Michaels will be able to keep it far enough ahead of Srigley that Srigley won't be able to even mount a challenge. It's Srigley behind Michaels, then it's Gardner, then Kyle Mathews, Chris Dodd, Brooke Allen, Sean Gallighan, Caitlin Tsang, Nathan Hudson, and Charles Sandfer, your top 10 as we get ready for a green-white checkered finish here tonight at Oswego. Michaels got a good start. Srigley hung with him, but he wasn't able to get a better start than Michaels. They were just about even. Just got to make it back here to the white flag. Srigley drives it a half groove lower, full groove lower, tries to get to the left rear, not able to get there this time. White flag displayed. Srigley's got to close the gap up here out of turn 2 to be able to try and make a move into 3. Michaels trying to hang on. Into the final few corners, Srigley rides in the tire tracks. He won't be able to get there. Joshua Michaels will hold him off. He will win his 3rd career race, first of the season here tonight at Oswego. And that will be, I believe, Honda's 2nd win in their career in the Hersheys Cup Series. I believe that Axiom Rage Motorsports made the move to Honda back in Season 2 when Michaels went to victory lane at Auto Club. 3rd win of the career for Joshua Michaels. He has now won a race in 3 of the 4 seasons of Hersheys Cup Series competition, and no doubt about it, had one of the strongest cars here this evening. Standings should be official at this point, and we only had 2 chasers finish this race inside the top 10 when we saw so many chasers peeking up in the top 10 midway through this race. Michaels will take home the victory. Joseph Srigley brings it home 2nd. Johnny Gardner, that car is on fire right now as Johnny Gardner picked up that win last week at Indy. A podium finish tonight here at Oswego. Kyle Mathews also is un fuego as he gets 4th. Chris Dodd brings it home in 5th. So good runs for a couple of drivers there. Srigley, Gardner, Mathews, and Chris Dodd, who are very much in that conversation as far as the keeping their charters for next season with where they are in the point standings. Brooke Allen, nice to see her get a top 10 run again. She's been on a bit of a cold streak lately. She'll bring it home in 6th. Caitlin Tsang, we know what she's able to do at a dirt track. She brought it home in 7th. Sean Gallighan was the highest finishing chaser tonight in 8th. Nathan Hudson in 9th. And Charles Sandfer was the only other chaser to finish the evening out in the top 10. Where'd the rest of our other chasers finish? Well, Benjamin Miles brings it home in 12th. Anthony McCrury in 13th place. Trent Dunham was way at the rear of the field. He was able to battle back at least for a 20th place finish. Dylan Poteet in 21st. J Bryant 23rd. Matt Haas was 24th. J Baskinger lost a ton of spots after starting 4th tonight. He'll finish 26th. And then this is where we get down to the kind of the drivers that really needed a good run, didn't get it tonight. Now they're going to have to try and bounce back in next week's race. You got Cody Llamas finishing a lap down in 32nd, and 2 drivers didn't even get to complete the first 10 laps of this race. J Arndt in 34th, and Blaine Keys in 35th. So right now, it would be Baskinger, Llamas, Arndt, and Keys who would be in the elimination slots for this round of the chase, for the championship. But there still are 2 more races to go, so still an opportunity for them to bounce back and try and get themselves into the hunt still to be in the Elite 8, as next week we are going to be packing it up, and we will only see the Hersheys Cup Series Charter Series drivers at the road course of Lime Rock. So that should be a very interesting race. Defending winner of that race is actually the guy who finished 2nd here tonight, Joseph Srigley. So we'll see what Srigley will be able to do at that track. But anyway, that's going to do it for us here tonight from Oswego. Congrats to Joshua Michaels on his first win of the season here in the Hersheys Cup Series competition. No driver punches their ticket into the Elite 8 because no chaser won this evening. So we'll have to see what happens next week at Lime Rock and then the following week at Zen Joltis. We'll see you guys next week at Lime Rock. Till then, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finish results. These are your rookie points, your overall points, and your chase points heading into next week's races when we will reach the midway point of the chase for the championship for this series. Till then, I'm Seth Cole signing off. You've been watching Production NCRA Offline Racing at its best.